Welcome to my YouTube channel. Myself, Professor Satya Prakash, and presently I'm discussing about various aspects of jurisprudence. In my first lecture, I discussed the introductory part of jurisprudence, which included definition, nature, scope, and utility of jurisprudence. Then I started with the schools of jurisprudence. The first school I dealt with was the analytical positivism propounded by John Austin. The second school was pure theory of law propounded by Hans Kelsen. Now, today I will start with the historical school of jurisprudence. This school mainly has two thinkers. One is Savigny and the other is Sir Henry Maine. Today I will discuss the theory of Savigny. Savigny was born in 1779 in Frankfurt, Germany. In 1814, he wrote an essay on the vocation of our age for legislation and jurisprudence, or von Beruf. Actually, it was a reply to the presentation or the consideration of Thibaut, who lived between 1771 and 1840 in Germany itself. Thibaut was working on codification of German law, and Savigny opposed him. The reasons were: first, Savigny said the codification or legislation is done by few people for many or for whole of the society, and few people cannot understand the requirements and the interest of the masses. Secondly, the legislation is not good for all the times. It is static because it is very difficult to make changes in the legislation, and once a legislation or codification is made, it may lag behind the development in the society. Thirdly, legislation cannot cover every aspect of the life of the people, so there will be no harmony, or the legislation would not be exhaustive and it would not cope with the habits of the people and the law. This lacuna may be observed in the Indian legislation. Most of the people live in the villages, still live in the villages, but most of the laws in India were made for relating to the industrialization and not oriented with the agricultural aspect. The three legislation or laws relating to agriculturalists and agricultural products had to be withdrawn because they did not match with the requirements or culture or habit or the various aspects of the farming community. Then fifthly, a code encourages evasion of the law, because in legislation or codified law, the provisions of the law are already known to the people, and the miscreants or the people who breaks law can take advantage of the previous or advanced knowledge of the legislation. Later on, Savigny said that part of the German law may be codified, but it must be on different footings. As regard the principles of Savigny, he said that law is found and not made. Law cannot be made by any authority or body or person for the whole of society. Law is found in the society itself. And he said that law is based on common consciousness of the people or the common spirit of the people. His disciple Puchta gave this theory the name of Volksgeist, means the common consciousness or common spirit of the people. Law is a matter of unconscious growth, or law is a matter of spontaneous growth. It automatically develops with the people of the society. Savigny said that law grows with the growth of the people, law strengthens with the strength of the people, and finally, law dies away when a nation loses its nationality, nationalism, or the nation is dissolved. We can have the example of the Bangladesh. When Bangladesh become independent in 1971, the previous laws, the laws made by the Pakistan were finished, and the new laws made by the Bangladesh became in force. Law, he said that law is directly and indirectly connected with the people. He defined law as a community of people linked together by historical, geographical, and cultural ties. It is not necessary or essential for a nation that it should have physical boundaries unless and until there is a common culture, common historical background, common consciousness of the people. We cannot treat that society as a nation. So nation cannot be defined specifically with the boundaries, but it is defined by the nature, culture, historical background, and the geographical situation of the people. In his idea, custom not only precedes legislation but supersedes it. He said that custom is made by the people themselves, and no doubt it is an ancient source of law. Along with that, it is a superior source of law when we compare custom with the legislation. Custom is a rule of practice evolved by the people themselves, and therefore it depicts more sentiments or spirit of the people than the legislation. Custom may either be national or local. If there is some diversity in the society as an overall society, and there is difference in the local people, then custom may be developed with the local people along with the national custom. Legislation may not suit for all the times to come because the society is marching faster and it is difficult for the legislation to cope with the changing circumstances of the society. He said that laws are not universal in character. Hans Kelsen said that a theory of law must have uniformity, or it must be universal in character, it must be applicable at all places in all ages. But Savigny said that laws are not universal in character, they are based on the common consciousness or spirit of the people. Therefore, the laws may differ from place to place, or from society to society, or from age to age. Like language, the law develops like language. The language may be different, or there may be different language for people of different areas, even within a particular society. He said, till now, the pressure behind law was based on morality or ethics or metaphysical consideration or elements. He said that moral pressure is to be replaced by social pressure. The pressure on law must be social, and it should not be based on any metaphysical or moral pressure. He said that doctrine of Volksgeist is not to be judged, but all other laws or situation or working of the people is to be judged by Volksgeist. So all the things are to be judged by Volksgeist. As criticism of Savigny, it is said that, firstly, it is said that spirit of the people may not be present behind the law, but it is the conscience of the few persons. There may not be representation, or the laws may not be based solely on the common consciousness or spirit of the people. There may be impact of few people, or the laws in a society even may be made by few people having some superiority or some authority in the society. For example, the custom of slavery. Slavery was imposed by the people in authority, and the masses were never agreed with the concept of slavery in the Western world or in any society. The basis of law in some societies may be imitation, or may be based on copy from the other societies. And thirdly, the the general customs may depict the opinion or the common consciousness or spirit of the people, but it is difficult to take the basis of the custom in local customs or local rules. Fourthly, sometimes there is reflection of a single person on law and not the spirit of people or consciousness of the people may be the basis of the laws. For example, the Littleton in Rome, Nehru in India, Marshal Tito in Yugoslavia, and recently we have seen that the President of USA has direct impact on the laws or on the rules being developed in the society. In India also, historically, we had Nehru, who impressed framing of almost all the laws, and presently we have the present Prime Minister who has impact on almost every law or legislation or every rule, whether it is executive rule or the legislative rule. Then in Germany, there was prevailing Roman law. Savigny basically did not support Roman law, but later on he supported Roman law in Germany with certain changes or certain uh, changes as per the German society, and it should be gradual, not immediate or direct. It should be a gradual adoption of other laws. The law may be result of conflict. It is not necessary that laws are always result of the common spirit of the people, but it may be result of the conflict. For example, the industrial laws, the conflict between the trade unions or the labor class and the capitalistic class or the owners of the industry. There have been a clash between the interest of the workers and the industrialists, or the employee and the employer. Therefore, certain laws were made to regulate the behavior of both the parties. It is also said that at the most, the common consciousness may be reflected in the personal laws, like personal laws of community, but recently we have seen that even personal laws have been changed by the modern legislature, including the Muslim laws, and previously in 1950s the personal laws of Hindus have been changed through legislation. So presently it is also very difficult to apply the common spirit in the personal laws also, and if the legislature or executive is strong, then even the personal laws have been changed. So it is difficult to apply the theory of Savigny present day, because it is difficult that the laws must remain as they are historically or based on the custom. So this is about the Savigny, and because Savigny said that the basis of a nation is common consciousness or spirit of the people, later on these concepts were taken by the rulers of Germany in the sense of some purity of race. So the certain things started, including the purity of race concept by Hitler during Second World War, or even before that. So the concept of a law being based on the uh, on the uh, on the people or on the cultural historical ties of the people might have taken some uh, some wrongful idea also in the implementation of the theory. With these words, I end this lecture on Savigny, who is part of the Historical School of Jurisprudence. Next time, I will discuss the other thinker in the historical school, Sir Henry Maine. His theory is also known as anthropological approach, or based on the historical development of man in society. And with these words, I end my lecture. Thank you very much.